Hi, everybody, and welcome to another episode of World of Warships with Tanks for the Mammeries. The series is called Motorboating with Mammeries. And today we're going to be watching the USS Iowa. As I told you guys in some previous videos, I saved up all my free XP for the 3.1 upgrade or patch for World of Warships, and I was able to get myself pretty much all the way up to the North Carolina, actually all the way to the North Carolina and part way to the Iowa. I apologize for taking so long to get some videos online. The 3.1 patch did something to my Gamecaster, which for whatever reason wasn't allowing me to record videos or to stream on Twitch. So I was finally able to get a couple of videos up. Atlanta, Battle in the Atlanta is the other one. But today we are in the Iowa doing some battleship gameplay. The Iowa is a really interesting ship. It's one of the last of two battleships in the US Navy, decommissioned back in the 80s, I guess, or in the 90s maybe. And it is now a museum ship and I guess still part of the reserve fleet. But the Iowa was the only of this class to serve in the Atlantic Ocean. Very nice ship, really fast, good guns on it, great turning speed, and this is one of my first battles in it. It's not going to be a spectacular battle, but it does give you, some indication of the gameplay in the Iowa class battleships. Interestingly, the Iowa had a bathtub on board. It is not the first U.S. naval battleship to have a bathtub, but it did have one. We don't get to see it in this game, but I'm assuming it was probably in the captain or admiral's cabins. The Iowa earned 9 battle stars for service in World War II and 2 for Korea. And she earned a whole bunch of other awards like the World War II Victory Medal, the American Campaign Medal, Naval Service Deployment Ribbon, the Philippine Presidential Unit Citation, Korean Service Medal with 2 stars, a bunch of different stuff. So nice ship to have in the game. I have mine completely upgraded to all of the to the 1945 hull and all of the things on there that I could upgrade, like the anti-aircraft guns, the fire control system, all that sort of stuff. And we're now into the match. We're able to get shots in on looks like some ships over there. Things are going in and out of spotting range, but that right there we're going to be able to get some shots on. So got the guns aimed up, pretty good grouping there. Going to see how that works. I was not firing these all at once. Little ahead there. Got 2 hits on them. I wasn't firing all my guns in salvos. I was trying to do independent turrets to see sort of what the accuracy was going to be like and make sure my lead was where it needed to be on this. I'm staying a bit far back at this point in time. Not as far back as some of the other ships, but just trying to get a feel for how this plays. And I went ahead and put it on stop there so that I could not get too far behind this hill. But there's plenty of other ships out there, and I start taking fire, so it's time to get a move back on here shortly and try and go help that destroyer out a little bit up there. So these American battleships can turn like nobody's business. And what I didn't realize is that the destroyer was making a torpedo run at the time, which is why both those ships turned to evade. But you can see that the time it took those shells to go in flight, he went from being completely parallel in movement to me to being essentially 90 degrees off of that. So, need to get a little closer these days for battleships to work and for the guns to be able to fire accurately. So, continuing on around to this side here for now, in the hopes that we'll be able to find something else to shoot at. Again, not a stellar game in that I didn't get 8 million kills or anything like that, but or hits or that sort of thing. But we were, able to put some fire down and survive the battle actually. So the scores are pretty even at this point. It looks like that's an Atlanta or a Cleveland firing at that guy right there. I don't think those are going to get anywhere close to hitting him. But I'm going to continue to make my way over this direction. Got some torpedoes coming in through that cut there, but I was a little too far out of range. And our destroyers let some more go. I don't know if I'll be able to hit this guy or not. But here we go. Here's some ships that we can hit. And the Iowa is actually interesting. A guy I went to high school with back in the day actually served on the Iowa, and his grandfather had served on the Iowa during the Second World War. So he, I forgot what his position was. I want to say he was one of the gunnery crewmen on one of the main turrets, but I don't think that's correct. I don't recall specifically, but he did serve on the Iowa, and so did his grandfather. So that's pretty cool. Now, I've not been to the Iowa before. I've never seen it in person. Been to the North Carolina, as I've mentioned previously, but not the Iowa. So our other battleship that was there with me has decided to turn around and sort of head the other way. He went ahead and took that guy out. And so rather than me get over here all by myself, I'm also going to spin around and sort of head the other direction. But in the meantime, I'm going to try and get a few forward battery shots off on that guy. And there was a bounce on me. This is good. Another bounce there. Some moderate damage against the hull. And there goes one of my guns. Of course. We get it repaired. And go to put some shots in on that battleship back there. Oh, yeah. Gonna give it a try. Guns out again. Isn't that awesome? I mean, I tell you, 2 hits, 2 guns taken out. All right. I'll be able to get some shots in on this guy. Nope, not going to get reloaded in time. Now, this island, I cannot believe I did not run aground. I don't know how that happened, but I'm going to put those shots out. And look how close I am. I cannot believe that I did not run into that island. You could have you could have stepped off the ship onto the beach. It was that close. So I've turned around to try and give myself some space there rather than get sucked into that fight all by myself. And it gives me the opportunity to try and put some other shots out there as my guns get turned around. The Iowa fires about 2 rounds a minute from each barrel, so that's pretty good. I've sped that up with some of the perks and skills that you can get. Good hits on that Japanese Tier 9. And we're going to try and catch him on fire. We're not using armor piercing, we're using the high explosive. I'm going to see if I can catch these guys on fire a little bit. Try to move a little closer into the fight now. It's time to start closing the range. I want to slow down before I get over that hill so I can get a shot off of this guy. I don't think it's going to get there in time. Yeah, if it did, they all missed anyway. Yeah, see, I was worried about that island. But time to speed back up and get down in the fight. So the Iowa only opened for tours in 2011, and is in, I guess, in California at the Pacific Battleship Center at the Port of Los Angeles. So she was permanently anchored at San Pedro's berth number 87 in 2012. So if you have the opportunity to get out to Los Angeles, California, and you're interested in the ships, go check out the Iowa there at berth 87. I got some hits that time. Now we're able to put some fire on that aircraft carrier, and which means this other team is pretty much just falling apart, because if battleship can get down to where the aircraft carriers are, at this point in time, that's their team is just not doing very well, pretty spread out. So I'm going to push on in, be a bit aggressive now, and see if I can't stir some trouble up. The islands that are on my starboard side are protecting me from fire that would come across from there, so I should be okay to make a push into the middle now. And again, trying to get as far back as I can to strike anything that's within my gun range. The islands are doing a good job of protecting the aircraft carriers there, but and we're capping out, so there's not a whole lot I should at this point be able to get, but I'm going to try and get a little more. But again, you can see it, moving relatively fast, and turns well, turns faster than the guns do. Let's see if we get another shot on this carrier. I don't know. Can we? Gotta give it a try. It's about half capped out at this point. We're leading them by 3 ships. We should be close. We should be able to get a shot off. So we got 2 volleys off on that carrier and a volley off on the scout returning. And then I guess that's in Atlanta, just really pouring a stupid amount of fire into that guy. It just looks like, out of a garden hose. And he's dead. More shots going into the carrier. I'm pretty sure that's about it for me in this carrier. So getting around 3,500 damage every time a volley lands on a ship. It's not great. I mean, I'm obviously not hitting the citadels, but it is what it is. So anyway, that was the fight. I hope you enjoyed it. The USS Iowa, 2,270 experience, 113 free experience, and that was the fight. So thanks very much for watching, and have a great day.